Hello, this is Kathryn Reed. I'm Director of Nutrition at Sound Health Connects. I'm also the Nutritionist at Seattle Athletic Club, so I wanted to welcome you to today's topic, weeknight meals in minutes. What we'll be discussing, we're first going to define what a healthy meal is, discuss some meal planning strategies that can help us have quick and easy weekday meals, specifically talk about some tools to help you create healthy meals under 30 minutes. These would be recipes and apps and resources for you. But we're going to be discussing mostly meals in minutes. These are meals that you can create with things you have on hand when you don't have much time to get dinner on the table. We're going to finish with pantry must-haves. But first, let's define what a healthy meal is. There are different ways to define a healthy meal. I like a very simple method called a balanced plate. A balanced plate is 1/4 protein. It could be beans, tofu, meat, fish, eggs, or cheese. 1/4 of the plate is your starchy vegetable or grain, potatoes, quinoa, rice, peas, corn. So I do include peas and corn on the starch side of the plate. But if you limit the starch, you're going to be getting that good energy that comes from carbohydrates, but you're going to be limiting the amount of load that you put onto your blood sugar. And then we're trying to create half our plate fruits or vegetables. Now for dinner, most people will want to have the vegetable portion be half their plate, but you can certainly include fruit as well. And again, we exclude peas and corn from this side of the plate. So let's first touch on some meal planning strategies. These are things you can do on the weekend in getting ready for your quick and healthy meals during the weekday. Of course, we know about freezing extra portions. If you're going to be making a soup, stew, or casserole, these three things easily can be frozen to pull and reheat. There's definitely slow cooking. You're going to want to have your ingredients on hand the night before so that you can throw them into your low cooking slow cooker before you leave for work. Definitely leftovers from the night before. I typically like to make double batches of things that I might have, and then the next night we'll have leftovers, and I might throw in an extra salad or something to brighten up the leftovers. There's certainly the healthy recipes under 30 minutes. We're going to be talking about my favorite websites and apps that can help you create those recipes. And then we're going to focus our attention on meals in minutes. These are the ingredients on hand that we need to have with us in our pantry that can create these healthy meals in minutes. So let's go into these healthy meals under 30 minutes first before we talk about the quick meals. My favorite websites and apps are the following. I love cookinglight.com. They're going to have meals, 20-minute or less meals actually that you can pull from their website. And they've got a great meal planning feature that allows you to drop into the weekdays the different recipes they have to then print a shopping list. So I definitely recommend cookinglight.com. Great recipes that fit the balanced plate. Eatingwell.com is another great place to pull your recipes. There's two apps that I would recommend. One is from Eating Well. It's called Healthy in a Hurry. And it's a free app that lets you scroll through and pick, I want chicken and I want it to be 15 minutes or less or 30 minutes or less recipe. And you can be in your grocery store parking lot and take a look at those options and then get your ingredients right there. Big Oven is another app that you can pull recipes from their website and app, and you can also do some meal planning. You can also put in what ingredients you have, and it'll generate a recipe or a cooking method that you can use with the ingredients you have on hand. Let's talk about my top 5. These are my top 5 healthy meals under 30 minutes that really don't require recipes. Leftovers, of course. We talked about that already. Rotisserie chicken with bagged salad and rice. Now, you might think you need 15 minutes to cook white rice or a really long time to make brown rice, but you can buy pre-cooked frozen rice in your freezer section of your local grocery store, and they cook in 3 minutes in the microwave, and they taste great. Brown or white or wild rice available as well. Lentil soup. We think we need to take hours to make our own soup, but you can make a wonderfully protein, fiber-rich soup that's delicious in 15 minutes or less. You want to have red lentils on hand. They kind of look pinkish orange, but they're called red lentils. They cook in about 10 to 12 minutes. And what you want to do is have 4 parts liquid to 1 part red lentil. And you can throw in anything you want, onions, spinach. You can dice up a tomato, some zucchini. Use your leftover vegetables to add to this lentil soup. You can even use some of the leftover rotisserie chicken you might have. But it creates this wonderfully rich, sort of smooth, creamy, protein-rich soup that's just wonderful. So I definitely recommend you get some red lentils and follow the package directions, or simply use 4 parts liquid to 1 part lentil. Frittatas are wonderful for dinner. So what you want to do is make your egg scramble as you would with the ingredients that you want to use. You might have some mushrooms and onion and spinach and zucchini and tomato that you cook up in your scramble. You want to let the bottom set, but have the top still be wet, and then put it under the broiler. And then it's going to cook and puff up that scramble so that it ends up being almost like an egg pie. It's called a frittata, and it's a wonderful way to use leftover vegetables that you want to get rid of. Think, too, about having simmer sauces on hand. I love some of the Thai, Middle Eastern simmer sauces that you can get. And you want to take a protein, you can have it raw, cut it up, simmer it in your simmer sauce for about 15 minutes or so, or 10 minutes, depending on what it says on the bottle, and then serve it with some frozen stir-fry veggies, and then have a microwavable white or brown rice that you have on hand. That's a fantastic way to have a balanced plate in no time at all. But now let's go into some other options of things that you can make very quickly in the weekday. First, we're going to talk about quick proteins, quick starches, and quick vegetables that you can have on hand. So again, this is more like making your fridge, your pantry, your freezer full of things you can use to make meals in minutes. So quick proteins, what are things that you can have on hand? We talked before about rotisserie chicken, or simply you made a roast on the Sunday night and you can pull from that throughout the week. There's another protein called pre-cooked chicken sausage. You can use Adele's brand, available at any store, or if you like Trader Joe's, they have their own brand and they come in different flavors. You can simply cut them up, saute them, and have them be 1/4 your plate. Pre-cooked turkey kielbasa is a leaner meat that will flavor any starch and vegetable that you might want to have on your plate. If you're vegetarian, you're trying to do meatless Mondays. Certainly we're all trying to get less meat. Some of us are. Canned and rinsed low-sodium beans are a great option. Eggs, of course, we talked about using those in a frittata, but you can certainly have an egg scramble, or just simply cook a couple eggs with your vegetable. Tofu is an option for you. You can think about using tofu in your simmer sauce. I would just pick a firmer tofu to add. Frozen edamame, it's a soybean that you can buy already shelled that you can simply reheat in 5 minutes or so. So look for that. You can put that on top of your salad or on top of a baked potato as your protein source. Cheeses will add some protein to your meal. If you're trying to get a little more protein and less fat, go for the light cheeses. Low sodium lunch meat, if you're going to make a grilled sandwich for dinner, we're going to talk about that in a minute. That could be something you could have on hand. And pre-cooked veggie or salmon patties. One thing I love about the frozen salmon patties, that they're always wild. So I like to buy them at Costco and have them on hand. You don't have to have a bun with it. You could just simply reheat it or pan fry it and have that be your way of getting some omega-3s in your wild salmon. Canned tuna or salmon is another option. You can flake into your salad or simply make a tuna melt or a salmon melt with that. And then frozen turkey meatballs. There's more and more stores that carry the frozen turkey meatballs, and I love the ones at Trader Joe's because there's no added flavors, colorings, anything artificial added to those. You can simply have those with pasta, which we're going to talk more about. Quick starches to have on hand. We talked about the frozen microwavable rice. You can take a sweet potato or a russet potato and simply prick it after you've washed it, wrap it in a damp paper towel, and microwave it for 5 minutes. And you're going to have a wonderfully cooked potato. Think about how you can have a baked potato night with some chili on top and some frozen broccoli for a quick and easy meal. Frozen peas and corn, I would exclude from the vegetable part of your plate and put in your starch plate because they do have more carbohydrates. Look for those bags of pre-cut, pre-washed squash, sweet potato, or fingerling potatoes already in amounts that you could easily roast or put in the microwave to cook. I just wouldn't cook them in the microwave with plastic because I think they can leach into the food itself. Take a spaghetti squash, prick it, and put it in the oven or the microwave oven for 12 minutes if you want to have a wonderful bed for your pasta sauce. That's a way to cut down on the starch portion, the carbohydrates. You can look for more and more amazing frozen grain blends. And when I talk about grain blends, I'm talking about it has a flavoring, it has a quinoa, it has a wild rice, and then it has a vegetable. I've even gone to the regular grocery store and seen them in the frozen section where they're bags of blends of rice and vegetables. What a great way to get more vegetables. Couscous can take 5 minutes to cook. You just simply want to go ahead and boil the water or low sitting broth, put in the couscous, stir it, take it off the heat, cover it, and in 5 minutes you're going to have a great bed to add your leftover chicken, rotisserie chicken, or your chicken sausage. You can add your frozen vegetables to that and make like a nice one dish sort of pilaf. Quinoa or white rice, we talked about those in the frozen section, but you can also just take 15 minutes to cook white rice or quinoa. You just want to make sure you rinse them both before you cook them, especially the quinoa. It can taste kind of bitter if you don't rinse it first. And then whole wheat pitas, tortillas, and bread, we're going to talk about how we can use those in quick meals, but have those on hand or in the freezer. Quick vegetables. We need to have quick vegetables because the more vegetables we eat, the less calories we have on our plate. We're really trying to build in half our plate vegetables. Frozen vegetables that do really, really well, that don't taste like waxy or rubbery, are broccoli, asparagus, pepper strips, Brussels sprouts. And then look for some frozen specialty blends with or without sauce. Trader Joe's has a lot of interesting blends, but I'm seeing some interesting blends from Costco, from other grocery stores where it's not that like creamy, cheesy, high-calorie, gooey sauce, but it's adding some balsamic, vinaigrette sauces and things like that to really make them special. Think about a bag of broccoli slaw that you can add a dressing to, like a poppy seed vinaigrette, and have that be your crunchy side. And think about adding raisins, craisins, or sunflower seeds to that as well. Those are things you can have on hand. Bags of pre-washed and cut veggies are great to have on hand. Think about the cucumbers that you can get, the little baby cucumbers, carrots. You don't even have to wash these. You can simply microwave them or just eat them in their crunchy state. The green beans, mini zucchini, cucumber, snap peas, baby carrots, mushrooms, specialty mixes. So many options available. You will pay a little bit more money for those things, but think about the time saving and the money saving you will make in terms of not going out to eat as much. And then think about the vegetables you might buy that go to waste because they've been exposed to air. So they might be a good investment for you. There's always the bagged fresh lettuce. The romaine and spinach and mixed greens are your best bet for high nutrition. And I would recommend going with organic bagged fresh lettuce because we know that there's a high pesticide residue. They're a part of the Dirty Dozen list. And certainly you can add shredded bagged carrot, grape tomatoes, and pre-sliced mushrooms as part of your quick salad making staples. And think about the salad kits as well that are on hand. I know at Costco they have a great wonton Asian salad kit that you simply just add chicken to and lettuce, and they've got all the other parts and pieces to it. So those are great ways to save money and add some veggies very easily. So now we've talked about meals under 30 minutes. We've talked about these quick meals where we're going to have the quick starch, protein, and veggie. Now let's talk about meal types. I'm going to throw out some easy meals, burger grilled sandwich ideas for you, pizza, pasta, main dish salads, an Asian meal option, and the meat and potatoes option for those that like more traditional flavors. And these are all going to fit the balanced plate. So again, there's no good or bad food with the balanced plate method, which I love. So burger grilled sandwich ideas. Think about how you can buy pre-cooked barbecued chicken or pulled pork at many grocery stores. You could have it on an Oreo wheat sandwich then, or simply a whole wheat bun, or have it with corn as your side, and then that would be your starch. Just have the protein with some corn, frozen organic corn if possible, or on the cob, and then have a bag of broccoli slaw, cabbage slaw as a side. So that's a wonderful dish to make maybe in the spring or summer. Pre-cooked chicken, turkey, salmon, or veggie burger. We talked about that already, but think about again the sandwich then, or the whole wheat bun, and then add some interesting chutneys or mustards, some lettuce, tomato, red onion, and then finish it with a bagged side salad. That's a great balanced plate. Grilled cheese. I love grilled cheeses, and you can make them really interesting. You can choose Fontina cheese or provolone cheese. It doesn't have to just be cheddar or Monterey Jack or whatever. So cheese of your choice, whole wheat bread. Think about adding a boxed tomato soup if you are having it in the warmer month or the cooler months where it's cold outside and you want that warmth. And then balance it with a green salad. It's a fantastic meal. Pizza. Pizza can be a healthful meal. You want to look for ready-made crusts. For example, the refrigerated dough, which will take about 10 minutes to cook on a pizza stone. Pre-cooked crust, think about the Boboli has a whole wheat crust. You can even use English muffins, whole grain English muffins, whole grain pita bread, or whole grain tortillas. So think about that as your quick and easy pizza night. And what I love about these things is the smaller ones, like the pitas and the English muffins and the tortillas, everybody can customize their own toppings because you're not having to make this big, large pizza. The healthiest toppings would be your pizza or pesto sauce, the red sauce or the pesto. Think about using light shredded mozzarella if you'd like, or just simply use less of the full-fat mozzarella. And add a lot of Parmesan. It adds a lot of flavor without any calories, very low calories. Canadian bacon is your leanest meat. So certainly if you want to do a Hawaiian pizza, that's a great way to get a little more fiber with the pineapple. Your vegetarian pizza would be wonderful because you could add frozen broccoli, roasted bell peppers, mushrooms, olives. Very simple to have on hand. And then think about if you really want to do pizza night, think about ordering from Papa Murphy's because they have a wonderful Delight brand. The calories is really in the crust. And if you can throw as many vegetables as you can on that pizza that has a thin crust, all the better. If you shop at Trader Joe's, I'd really recommend a frozen thin crust ready-made pizza called Tarte d'Alsace. And it comes in a few different flavors, and it's very thin crust, and the whole pizza is 600 calories. Balance it with a side salad, you're good to go. Pasta. You can have pasta and still lose weight and be healthy. The key is to balance it with veggies and protein. So we want to think about how we can do that. So for your protein, think about frozen meatballs, pre-cooked Italian chicken sausage you can buy, meatless crumbles if you're going vegetarian. Whole wheat pasta, you can go with refrigerated whole wheat pasta or simply get a dry pasta, but it's going to take more time. Marinara sauce, I love a vodka sauce because they add a little bit of cream if you want that creamy, decadent flavor with not that many more calories. I really like Trader Joe's vodka sauce. And then add more vegetables in with the pasta to create that volume you want. Sauteed diced onions, sliced mushrooms, zucchini, add some frozen broccoli, frozen roasted bell peppers, and then go ahead and cook that into the sauce so that you can then have a really veggie-rich sauce. You can also take a zucchini and go ahead and make zucchini ribbons or carrot ribbons that you throw in the pasta water in the last minute to cook so that you bump up the volume of your pasta. And then simply just use any marinara sauce you like and add Parmesan for that cheesy, lovely flavor that we all want from our pasta. There's some heat meat options available to you. Trader Joe's I love because they have a frozen turkey bolognese sauce that's wonderful. You can just microwave it in 5 minutes and have it over some sauce. They even have pre-cooked pasta in the frozen section at Trader Joe's. They've also got some blends like pasta peperonata that also have the sauce in it with the frozen pasta that you reheat. And you can just add some frozen meatballs, shrimp, and some extra veggies to make that bigger and healthier. Think about, too, the Bird's Eye garlic chicken pasta or any other brands that you might get. They're going to have some additives and preservatives, but add some extra frozen veggies like some frozen broccoli to the Bird's Eye garlic chicken pasta, and then you've got a more balanced meal in minutes. Mexican. I talk to clients all the time that love Mexican. The challenge is to limit the starch and get more veggies. So think about Baja fish tacos. If you had some fish sticks that you could microwave or easily cook in the oven, and you had some corn tortillas in the shell or flat, bag of cabbage, lime salsa, non-fat sour cream or low-fat sour cream, some avocado. That's a wonderful, those are wonderful ingredients. You can even add a little Monterey Jack cheese to your fish taco if you want some cheese. Fajitas are great because they have some veggies built in. You can get pre-cooked chicken or shrimp, or have that leftover rotisserie chicken, for example. Use a whole wheat or corn tortilla. Have some fajita spice mix on hand. There are now bags of frozen roasted onions and peppers that I've seen that are onions and peppers pre-cooked and frozen that you can use for your fajitas very quickly. Also think about how you can make a burrito, taco, or quesadilla very simply. There's places that have the pork carnitas that are already pre-cooked, or shredded pork or chicken. Think about the can of black or pinto beans that you can rinse and have as more fiber and protein. The bags of romaine lettuce, you can get diced Roma tomatoes, olives, light Mexican blend cheese, salsa avocado, plain or Greek style yogurt if you don't want to have a non-fat sour cream. Super easy, and everybody can build their own. You just have to have these things on hand. Main dish salads. As we get into the spring and summer, we're thinking more about salads. I know I am. Think about a Greek style salad. Romaine lettuce, chicken, cucumbers, tomato, feta cheese, tzatziki sauce or dressing. They sell in a bottle now. And have pita chips or pita bread as a side. Wonderful. Italian style. You know that Italian style chop salad that we all like? Romaine lettuce, chopped salami that you can easily buy ahead of time and chop. Olives. Rinse some garbanzo beans. Have some mozzarella on hand. Tomatoes. Italian dressing, and a crusty bread. Again, this fits the balanced plate method. And then a classic spinach. We all love those candied walnuts you can buy, or the candied pecans or almonds. Think about having chicken, leftover chicken, spinach, crumbled blue cheese or gorgonzola, dried cranberries, a vinaigrette dressing, and a crusty bread. These are all salads that if you have the ingredients on hand, you're good to go. Asian. We already talked about the frozen or white brown rice. But you can also get brown minute rice that you could easily cook in 5 minutes. You're going to have a raw or pre-cooked protein like chicken or shrimp on hand, a bag of stir-fry veggies, frozen or fresh, depending on what you like or have on hand. Sauce options. We talked about the simmer sauces if you want an Indian or Thai flavor, but you can also have teriyaki or other Asian sauces on hand that you can easily create that. There are heat and eat options. Trader Joe's has a great barbecue chicken teriyaki that I think is very good. You can also get frozen chicken or shrimp fried rice. And what I like to do with the pre-cooked chicken or shrimp fried rice that I buy at the grocery store is I like to add extra veggies or edamame, which is a great way to add fiber. Lastly, meat and potatoes. We talked about the rotisserie chicken or the pre-cooked flavored chicken sausage. There's many flavors, so you can really experiment with those. And then microwave bag of fingerling potatoes, or microwave a whole russet or sweet potato. Wouldn't that be fantastic? And then just add a bagged salad or a frozen veggie. The trick to all of this is to have your pantry and your freezer stocked, but we're going to talk about the things in your pantry that you can have, that you don't have to worry about having freezer space or any pantry space, or sorry, it's just cupboard space. Salsas, chutneys, ready-made sauces like teriyaki, marinara, the simmer sauces we talked about, pastas, canned beans, pink lentils, we talked about that easy soup, frozen pre-cooked rice or brown minute rice, boxed or canned soup, look for low sodium if possible, frozen vegetables, look for those frozen vegetables you can have and you'll never have to worry about wasting vegetables again. Bagged fresh vegetables and salads, jars of roasted red peppers for your pizzas or your salads. Parmesan cheese is a wonderful thing and it keeps a long time. I would get the really good stuff, the Parmesan Reggiano, spend $6 for a wedge and then wrap it tightly in plastic and have that add wonderful flavor with not many calories. Cooking sprays can be handy. And again, we talked about russet potatoes. What I love is having a baked potato night where you have a can of chili or you have leftovers that you put on it for a topping and balance it with some veggies. So this was a lot of information, but feel free to rewind it and go over any part of it you'd like. And if you have any questions, please email me at kathryn@Sound Health Connects. Thank you for joining me for today's webinar, and good luck planning your next meals in minutes.